Yo, what's up guys? Welcome back to the YouTube channel. Today we're going to be talking about a few elements of day game, picking up girls in the daytime. So let's get into it. Yo, what's up? So we're just heading home. Did a day game session over at the mall with a client. He did 4 hours for $1,000. Helped him to pick up some chicks and get some phone numbers. Right now I'm heading home, although I want to stop somewhere and get some fucking food, like a cheeseburger, because I'm pretty hungry. Been walking around all day, and day game gives you a lot of cardio. It's like light cardio at the gym. And so the reason that I also want to talk about this is that if you didn't know, I have a new book, Daygame Mastery, on Amazon. It's 400 pages. It's a full technical manual, full comprehensive guide to how to pick up women in the daytime, as opposed to night game, such as bars and clubs, which I definitely recommend doing as well, and also online game, picking up girls online, Tinder, Bumble, Hinge. About 50 to 80% of relationships are now formed online, so that's definitely one of the best lead sources. Night game, of course, there's always people out at bars and nightclubs that you can pick up, but for example, like the student that I was just coaching, he can't do night game because he works nights, weekends, and holidays. Very much like myself in my other job in music and nightlife, doing entertainment labor. I work most nights, weekends, and holidays because I'm setting up all the concerts or I'm tearing them down. But like this guy, for example, he works in hotel security. So he's at the bars, he's at the nightclubs at night and on the weekends and on holidays, but he's there at work, so he can't really game any girls. So people like that, they need day game. And he's just getting into game, so he's someone who's tried Tinder, doesn't really know how to use it, has got a couple of dates. He said basically he fucked a couple of girls that were like 4 out of 10, basically fucking fat land whales or fucking post-wall roasties, single moms with 4 kids and shit like that. They're showing me pictures of some. One girl was like 5 out of 10, another girl was like 4 out of 10. She had a very average face, but she was fucking fat. And he's like, dude, like that's all I can get on Tinder. And he's like, I guess he doesn't have a problem necessarily hitting up those fat chicks and getting them to come over to his house and fuck, but he's not getting like hot chicks. And he's very new to cold approach pickup. But since he works graveyard, the only time that he can basically go out is on his days off in the daytime, because that's his schedule. I guess he was saying something like he wakes up at like, his graveyard schedule is like, I guess 11 to 7, so he wakes up around 5 or 6 in the afternoon and then gets ready for work, and then he goes to bed around whatever, 10 in the morning or something like that, however that works for him. And he's got his 2 days off per week, and so at those times that's when he wants to do day game. So he doesn't know how to approach, so he finds me on Google or whatever. But yeah, he did pretty good. He got a couple of numbers, and he's going to do another session in a couple of weeks when he gets paid. We'll continue his training from there. But basically what I want to get into in this vlog is like day game is such an important skill for men to learn. And like, so check this out. There's 24 hours in a day, right? 7 days a week. Hey Siri, 24 times 7. 168. Divided by 2, 84. So day game hours are roughly 6 a.m. until 6 p.m. So you get 84 hours a week, 12 hours a day, 7 days a week to practice game. Meaning going out, practicing your cold approach, approaching girls, meeting them, trying to attract them, get their phone numbers, and then later convert those phone numbers into dates and convert those dates into sex. But for example, if you're a guy who only does night game, in most places you have to wait until Friday or Saturday night at about like 9 a.m. to like however late you stay out, 1 in the morning, 2, 3 in the morning, depending on if you have last call or not. In Vegas, we don't really have last call, and there's after hours clubs, but most places in the United States, they have like a 2 a.m. last call. So it's kind of like, you know, and clubs don't really get popping until like 10, 11 o'clock at night. So you're looking at like 10, 11, 12, 1, 2, you got like 5 hours maybe on Friday and Saturday night. So that gives you basically between 8 to 10 hours a week to practice night game in most cases. Unless you're living in like a major city where there's like bars and clubs that are every night. But you're cutting yourself short because in the phase of, let's call it lead acquisition, when you're going out looking for new leads, looking for girls to meet, phone numbers to get, you want to get as many lead sources as you can, and that's why it's better to have day game night game and online game, plus any other lead sources such as like your social circle or your work or your church. There's a lot of places to meet women, but if you're not going out to the mall, if you're not going out to the beach, to the shopping centers, to the grocery stores, to the bookstores, museums, or even like going skiing, or even places like adventure parks, water parks, and things like that. We got 12 hours a day, girls out on the jogging trail, 12 hours a day to go out and talk to girls and get more leads, more phone numbers. Because when you look at like your lead acquisition phase, the more leads that you get, once you get into the leads management phase, then you'll be able to basically have more girls' phone numbers to try to convert into dates and sex. Now, a lot of people are always thinking like, well, I don't know if it's possible to like fuck girls in the daytime or whatever. They'd rather just go to a bar. And that's bullshit, because I fucked a lot of girls during the daytime. There's been girls that I've met basically out on the street in the daytime and ended up back in my house and fucking them in about like 45 minutes. I picked up chicks at the water park. That's one of my fucking favorite stories, and I'll share it in a second. Or there's a girl that I fucked in about 25 minutes of meeting her. Or going to the mall, for example, you talk to a chick at like Jaunzemis, you end up like, hey, let's go catch a movie, or let's go hang out at back of my house. Maybe you end up back at her house. Maybe there's a party going on later that night and you meet her in the day, and then you basically set up a date for later that evening, and then you take her back to your house and you fuck her. So like Daygame just has all these awesome advantages, and basically most men aren't doing it. Most men are pussies. They're scared to approach. They would never think of like waking up on a Tuesday afternoon, getting dressed up, you know, going out to a mall and then just start approaching girls. But that's what pickup artists do, and that's why we get real results with women. Now, if you guys are new to my channel, make sure that you smash that like button if you like what I'm saying, if these tips are helpful to you. Of course, make sure to hit that subscribe button so you can check out some of my other videos. And if you want to get into the game, the dating game, and learn everything about women, dating, relationships, and start getting real results in your dating life, go on Amazon, check out my new book, How to Pick Up Hot Women. It's a 600-page encyclopedia, technical manual, workbook, and basically it has everything in there. Day game, night game, online game. Covers all elements and aspects of pickup, from fucking open to close, from meet to sex, from eye contact all the way to the bedroom. Highly suggest going over there and checking it out. It'll change your life. Treat myself to some Mickey D's right here. Doing number 3, double quarter pounder with cheese, no onions, extra pickles.
Just the sandwich or the meal?
The meal with a Coke.
What size?
Medium.
Anything else?
No, that's it.
Go ahead and pull around.
Alright, so let's get into some of the juicy stuff, because I know that's what you guys want to hear. So let me share with you guys a couple of Insta-fuck stories. So this is basically, an Insta-fuck is a pickup technique, kind of like if you've heard of an instant date. So for example, you're like at the mall, you meet a girl, you talk to her, and then you say, you know, hey, I'm kind of thirsty, let's go get a drink. And you guys move from where you're at, like walking around the mall, to like the Jamba Juice to sit down and have a drink. Or if you meet a girl, like for example out on the dog trail, or we call it early morning game if it's like 6 in the morning.
And then we're still waiting for the rest of the food, but we can do it pull around and I'll bring it.
Okay, thanks, bud. Yeah, so like early morning game is like going out to the dog trail or whatever at like 6 in the morning. If you're a guy who walks his dog, that's a really good opportunity for you. You could do early morning game, and you see another girl with a dog, and your dogs could fucking play and run around together, and then you basically say, after this I'm gonna go get some coffee, and you go from the dog trail to basically go to the Starbucks nearby. So it's an instant date. This saves you the trouble of basically saying, okay, let me get your number and I'll call you, and then you try to get her out on a date later. You can go on a date right now. An instant date. So there's also a concept called the Insta-fuck, and this is basically where you go from open to close. You go from basically meeting the girl. Generally it's night game, where you're like meeting the girl on the dance floor, and then you take her to a toilet in a nightclub. And this is like when you're basically having sex with a girl you just met in about 5 to 15 minutes. Or for example, there's what's called an ADA service bar. They're in every bar. American Disability Act, I think is what it stands for. And it's kind of like the bar where handicapped people sit. It's a little lower bar, but you can fuck a girl in there. You can meet a girl on a dance floor, you can take her over, you start talking to her, rubbing on her, and then you fuck her. I've done it, my friends have done it, my students have done it. Or sometimes you're dancing with a chick and like she starts fucking rubbing your dick, you just pull your dick out and she'll suck your dick right on the fucking dance floor. happens in Vegas all the time. Or another example of an insta-fuck is, you know, you're meeting the girl at a nightclub, and all the hotels in Vegas, they all have nightclubs, and then they have their hotel rooms, and the girls from out of town, sometimes you'll start meeting her on the dance floor, you'll make out with her, and then you say, oh, well, you know where you're staying, oh, she's upstairs. You end up just going up to her place upstairs in the fucking room, and you fuck her. So you basically go from open to close. Now, obviously, during day game, an insta-fuck isn't going to really be that prevalent. It's not something that's going to happen all the time, but it definitely can happen sometimes, and I've done it several times myself, and so have several of my students. So here's an example of an insta-fuck. This is a personal example. So me and my wingman, we were out rollerblading, right? Just fucking rollerblading on the street, whatever, and we seen some girls, and basically approached them, rolled up on them, basically, no, we approached them, and we're like, you know, hey, what's up? What are you guys doing right now? And basically, the girl had to go run an errand. She was on her way to, I don't want to get like into all the details or whatever, but she had to go do something real quick, and she was basically going to come back in like 20 minutes. So I was like, yeah, that's cool, whatever, we'll meet back here. So she goes and she does her thing. She comes back. My buddy had to take off, and her friend had to take off or whatever. So it was basically just us, and I was like, yeah, so I was actually just going to go kick it back in my house. We're going to, you know, have some drink or whatever back there if you want to kick it, chill out. And basically, I took off my skates, I put my shoes on, and then me and the girl basically walked from where we were at back to my house, and we literally went in my house, we got on the bed, we started making out, I fucking pulled out my dick, and then we fucked. After we were done, I basically said, okay, cool, like, I got some shit to do or whatever, I gotta get to work, and she's like, cool, cool. She took off. Basically, that whole interaction from like the time, you know, the couple of minutes I talked to her, she left to kind of do her thing, so I don't really count that time. But then she came back, and it was basically us walking back to my house, however long that took, like 20 minutes to walk back a mile to my house, and then basically like we were fucking within like 10 minutes. So like altogether, that's like 30-45 minutes, and that was in the middle of the day. So that's how I absolutely know that it's possible to do it, because I've done it myself. Let me give you a second example. This is like one of my favorite fucking insta-fuck stories. And if you want to get the full details, it's in my book, How to Pick Up Hot Women. But I'll give you the short version here because I'm getting home and I need to eat, and then I have to work out. So me and my buddies, we went to go gaming at Raging Waters in California, and we were in the wave pool, and I start talking to some girl, and she's with her boyfriend, and they're just floating on their inner tubes or whatever. And I'm like, yeah, hey, what's up? You know, where you guys in from? And we start kind of talking, and these guys are kind of like fighting or whatever. It just seems like they're like, I don't know, I don't know what their deal was, or he did something to piss her off, or vice versa. I don't really know the backstory, and I don't really care. But what happened is basically this guy, you know, he was kind of drinking, he wasn't really paying attention, and he's floating, grabbing on her inner tube from the front, but he's not really paying attention. And me and this girl just have this fucking vibe that it's on. So under the water, I'm like rubbing her leg. I lift her bikini to the side, and I start fingering her under the water. Back at the house, I just want to finish this little vlog real quick. So I'm like kind of fingering her under the water, right? And then the guy kind of suggests, oh, we should go over to the lazy river. And I'm kind of like, oh, I already had this in the bag. I just need to like get a little closer so I could get it in. So I'm like, oh yeah, sure, whatever. So me, the girl, and the dude, it's funny because he's like holding hands with her, and I'm kind of walking to the side, but she's looking back like she wants me, right? We get into the lazy river, and we link the inner tubes together. Again, like all of this happened within about 25 minutes from opening to fucking getting my dick inside of her. And so now we're floating down the lazy river. So picture like he's in an inner tube, she's in an inner tube, I'm in the back inner tube, and he has his hand on the little handle, and then she has her hand on the handle on mine. So we're just floating down the river. Now this guy's just drinking, and he's kind of passing out almost. Doesn't even pay attention, doesn't know what's going on. And I'm under the water, like rubbing on her leg and kind of like pulling her hips back towards me. So now she's like in the inner tube, but her ass is kind of arched. And I fucking like, I'm wearing like board shorts or whatever that are Velcro. And I pull my dick out. My dick is fucking hard. And I just kind of inch her up. she knows what's going on too, and then just kind of dip it in a little bit. Boom, insta-fuck. During day game, in the middle of the fucking broad daylight at Raging Waters. In the lazy river where, you know, there's people around, but nobody knows what's going on. Only me and the girl know what's going on. Even the fucking half-drunk boyfriend doesn't know what's going on. Now, when I'm fucking her, I'm not really focused on trying to come or something like that. It was just more like trying to get it in because, you know, as soon as the tip of your dick touches the girl's pussy lips, that's a +1 to your leg count. So basically you get a new body for your body count. And so I just did enough to kind of get it in where it was like a couple of nice pumps. Okay, like I just met this girl and I fucked her. That was dope. But I'm not gonna, I can't really start pumping because then all of a sudden the water's gonna splash. People are gonna see, he might notice. So it's not really about that. It's just more about running through the process for fun. I know that I'm never going to see this girl again. I don't even want her number. Like she lives in somewhere in California. I'm not going to call her and try to hang out with her again, especially with her boyfriend. This is just like the day in the life of a pickup artist who does day game. And so anyway, so I stopped fucking her, whatever. I put my dick back and I kind of just have fun. And like, it was so funny. What I'll never forget is when she kind of like looked back and she was just kind of like, oh, like, you know, when I put it in, like, cause she's like, so, you know, she's super excited. Cause to her, it's probably very exciting because she's like getting to fuck this guy with her boyfriend who probably paid for her ticket to get in there. He probably paid for her drinks. Who knows what the dynamic is of their relationship? He might have even been just like a dude that she friend zoned or whatever, but they were saying that they were boyfriend and girlfriend or whatever, but like he went to the bathroom at one point and she was kind of like, yeah, he's being an asshole, he's being mean to me or whatever. So it's like, in a woman's mind, it's her way to like get revenge on him or something, whatever the fuck that means. I don't give a fuck, dude. I got it in. I felt like the fucking man. When you do shit like that, it makes you feel like a fucking master pickup artist. But again, like, all of this is possible with day game. And again, like a lot of guys, they never utilize day game. Even like I said, there's 84 hours in a week that you could be out running game on girls, getting phone numbers, getting dates, and getting laid. You just have to understand the process of how pickup works and then get out there and fucking start making it happen. Anyway, I'm gonna head in the house. I'm gonna go have this Mickey-D's, and then to make up for it, I gotta do some sets, get a little workout or whatever. Anyway, if you guys like this video, make sure to give it a big thumbs up, subscribe to my channel for more, leave your comments in the box below, and I will see you guys on the next one. Good luck and game on, fellas. Peace.